Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Now in this video we have got an update for you on our yield farming positions, or another episode of the yield farming series. So let's see how things are doing and if I've made any changes and all that good stuff. So the market overall is slightly down, Bitcoin down 2% on the day. And let's see doing. So if we go over to VFAT here, we can see that all three positions, really it's just these two, but then there was this one that's got $50 in there. But all three positions are in range, and we are printing around $12-13 a day right now with a 95% APR. I've currently earned $40 in rewards that I have not claimed. I have not touched these since I made the first video. So if you remember, or if you watch my video where I mentioned about rebalancing and my sort of rule where I leave it 2 to 3 days, well, I left it over the weekend and we were back in range. So we're back to printing on our ETH position now, which is good to see. So APRs are sort of all over the place at the moment. Also, it's not great timing with me because the US market isn't really active just yet. But if you want to go into, let's say, an ETH to USDC pool, which I think is sort of one of the most popular positions in yield farming, you can see that there is a bunch of crazy APRs right now with decent TVL. Like even this one on Aerodrome here is at 102%, 112%. However, don't let this throw you off, because when you click on this position to jump in, you'll see that this crazy APR is only on a 1% wide range, which obviously this is going to stay in range for probably less than 30 seconds. So you want to be careful with that. But yeah, APRs are looking pretty juicy, pretty good right now. So I'm happy with how things are looking over here. And to see sort of these positions are in range and printing, which is, again, just a good thing. You know, we're sort of making cash flow whilst the market is having a bit of a dip, should we say. So that is for the VFAT positions, the core positions here. They're all good. I haven't added any more onto these just yet. Now, if we go over to Project X, which it was the other farm that I am farming, you can see these two positions are out of range. We are sort of completely out of range on these. However, again, I am going to leave this. Hype is currently at $22.19. So my range on this one is 23.57 to 28.79, and on this one 24.58 to 36.31. We do have $63 in unclaimed yield. So what's that? 63 plus the $40 we have here. So it's $100 in unclaimed yield that we have, which is nice to see. And also Project X here, we are generating points for that airdrop. And I found another sort of $170, I think it was $175 over on my Sui wallet. It was in another token, so I chucked that into a Sui and USDC position last night. My first Sui and USD position is out of range, and that has dropped by $15. You can see the range here was pretty high and the current price has dropped quite a bit, and that's to be expected when you're sort of farming. And that's why I really primarily prefer farming blue chips, because there's not as much movement as there is with altcoins. You know, I put 175 in here last night. This has already dropped $10, which I'm fine with that, by the way. You know, I have no issue with that. And you can see my range on this new position is 149 to 165. Now, again, I don't really care about this. It's $200. I'm not really fast, but this has made almost $3 already in fees, which is pretty cool. Now, again, I'm starting slow here just so that I can build up and so that we can sort of tailor to lots of people, whether you're starting with 50 grand, 100 grand, or whether you're starting with $1,000 or $500. I want to start small and build up slowly so that we can cater to all of those audiences pretty much. And yeah, just to show you the difference, like Bitcoin's down 2%, Ethereum's down 3.9%. But if we look at Sui here, you know, Sui's down 3% today. But it is also down, if we take a look, rank 29 here, it's down 16% in the last week. So that just shows you the difference between sort of farming blue chips like a Bitcoin or ETH doesn't drop as much. or sorry, doesn't move as much versus these altcoins here. Sui's down 16%. I'm also farming Hype. That's down 9%, or in the past week, 7% today alone. So yeah, that's just sort of the difference there. But yep, those are the updates. Nothing too crazy to look at here in terms of the positions. I don't think I'm looking to add to any more like different assets. I think I'll stick with the two pools that I have and then sort of continually add more funds to these. I may switch around the pools. So at the moment we're farming on PancakeSwap. They are all sort of CL1 positions, and then we have WETH to USDC and Bitcoin to USDC. I may go ahead and swap the positions, or sorry, the farm that we're in, but we'll stick with the same assets, depending obviously on the sort of APRs. Although the APR that in the PancakeSwap position seems to be the best one at the moment. So I think I'll probably keep things as they are for now. And again, this seems like it's got, okay, this one has the most liquidity, this one over on Aerodrome, but the APR isn't looking very nice. Even on a 1% range, the APR is 40%. So yeah, we're going to leave that, and I will stay into this PancakeSwap position. And then if we check for WETH to USDC here, WETH to USDC, and if we filter this and we go, minimum TVL is going to be 10k, 100k, $1 million. Okay, and we check to see what the APR is looking like. We can see that again, the Aerodrome position is doing best, but that is sort of on a 1% range. I ideally like to do 10% as a minimum, and that's only 20% APR. So it looks like this one that we're in at the moment is getting the best of APR for WETH and USDC. However, there probably is some more opportunities on different networks. Like if I got rid of this W and just went for WETH and then potentially fiddled around with the filters and opened up and just checked on different chains, there probably is some more opportunities, but I'm good sticking with this at the moment. Again, sort of my minimum APR that I want to be hitting is 30%, and we're currently at 96% overall. So I think we're pretty happy with that, pretty good, and I think we'll just chill here for a while until sort of volume kicks back up. I do think it was a public holiday yesterday in the US, so the volume wasn't the craziest across all markets. So we'll see how this picks up as we move on in the week. So yep, that's going to be it for the video. If you have enjoyed, make sure you smash a like. Let me know how you're doing. Are you still in range? Are you printing? And again, it just shows that patience when you're yield farming is very important, because I was out of range for maybe 2 or 3 days on my WETH and USDC position. So I could have, just sort of held. I could have rebalanced just to get back into range, but we would have a pretty nasty impermanent loss there. So I'm glad I held out and just waited for that to slowly climb back into range, and now we're pretty healthy in that range. So we're sort of slap in the middle of there, which is good to see.